of the path to.
Goeiedag, my naam is Ina en dit is ons program Mosaiek en dankie dat jy ingeskakel het. Nou sê jy weet, elke maand het ek 'n enorme getuienis van ons Here Jesus Christus, wat hy vir ons doen, waaruit hy ons uitgehaal het. Ek dink altyd aan daai liedjie, baie diep haal hy my uit, baie diep haal my, en hy sit my op 'n ewige rots. Ek sê altyd vir mense, ek as hy jou so uitgehaal het, dan sit hy, was hy jou mooi skoon, dan sit hy jou hier op 'n tafel of op 'n muur en ek kan almal jou sien en ek kan almal jou storie hoor. Nou vandag het ek 'n baie spesiale vriendin by my, die Harris, die baie welkom, is lekker om vir jou by my te hê.
Baie dankie, Tannie Ina.
Dis baie lekker.
Dit is 'n groot eer om hier te wees.
Dankie, baie dankie vir dit. Nou die gaan vir ons vandag haar storie vertel en dit gaan so 'n mooi storie wees dat ons al gevra het om volgende week weer terug te kom. So ons gaan baie mooi en baie lank met haar praat. Die vertel ons, waar is jy gebore?
It's going back to 1962 when I was born. The historical District 6.
Yeah.
That was a place where I was born. I played there for a while and then we were forcefully removed by the Group Areas Act.
I'm so sorry about it. I really want to apologize. I know it's so many years ago. But
yes.
As a born-again Christian, I want to apologize.
Thank you, Tannie. But you know what? God had a plan. Yes, I was born there. We moved to a town called Netrecht.
Okay.
Netrecht, En ek dink die woord sê dit alles.
Netrecht.
Dit was net die regte plek om God te vind. So yes, I started school there. At the age of 5. We moved to Netrecht, and then growing up there till the age of 9, then things started happening. Because I think when you're 9 years old, you become aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
You become aware of yourself, and then being the eldest of 5 siblings, brothers the eldest, and then I'm the eldest of the girls.
Okay.
So yes, I had to be the responsible one.
Yeah.
Looking after my younger sisters, see that they are ready for school, and we had our breakfast, and then we had to clean up after that, and go to school. My brother had to lock up and take the keys to the neighbors, and that. And that was nice times. That was good times.
Yeah.
But then that one day something happened.
Okay. So jy is gebore in 'n ander denominasie as Christendom. Vertel ons wat het gebeur.
Look, I was born out of wedlock, first of all. But yes, my father was a Muslim man. That was his faith, that was his belief, and we were all Muslim. But it's just so amazing how, because being born out of wedlock, my mother used to call me Faith. Wow. All the time. Wow. Faith. And my father did not like it because he gave me a Muslim name.
Okay.
And I must be called by that name that was given to me. But as you grow older, you think, sure, why Faith? And today I can see why Faith, So yes, I grew up in a Muslim home where it was, we needed to go to church. We needed to go to that Muslim school after school. My father was very staunch.
If you say we needed to go to church, do you mean to the Muslim church?
Yes.
Okay.
It was definitely the Muslim church.
And it was called church?
No, it was called madrasa.
Okay.
It was called, you know, where you go and do your 5 prayers a day.
Right.
But we went to the Muslim school after school. And there we recited the Quran,
Yeah.
you know. And if I remember how I recited the Quran, with all the respect I'm saying it,
Yeah.
yes, I was the eldest girl and I had to do that. I had to show and my siblings, my younger siblings, that was expected of me. Going forward, it happened, but yeah, this day happened. A day happened when I was at the age of 9.
And it was a cold, rainy night when God called your name.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
This day, this night, you know, being the eldest, I was always just concerned. When is mommy coming home? You know, because we all bath, we all sleep, but mommy's not home yet. She's not home yet, and I was the worried one.
Yeah.
I was the one that waited for her. Yes, I went to bed, but I didn't go to sleep. I waited for my mom to come home, and only then I can fall asleep. And this one night, there was a night where she also never came home. I was just crying. I was just laying in bed crying because I didn't hear that knock. I didn't hear that voice. And yeah, but this one particular night, I literally got up. I got up and I went to the window because now I needed to see.
You're waiting
hoping
for her.
That she will come down the road.
Right.
You know, and the minute I see her, I can go back to sleep. But I waited and I waited, and it was dark. It was raining. There was nobody in the road. There was nobody, but it was dark and raining and cold. But I was standing at that window and waiting for my mom to come home. And through all the tears, through all that raindrops that I heard, there was just that powerful voice. The voice that was so powerful, so deep, so clear. And I heard that voice amongst everything else. I heard that voice and I didn't know this voice is whispering. I hear this voice and I could just listen and I could just say, sure, this is a voice that you can't even ignore because it was there. It was so clear. Don't worry, my child. I will take care of you. I will take care of you always. And you know what? I just had to walk back to my bed. You know, back in the day, being 4 sisters, we slept 2 on a bed.
Yeah, of course.
You know, my brother slept on his own bed. But, and I didn't want to touch my sister because I also didn't like her to touch me. I was just that child, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I went to bed with this voice. I went to bed with this question. Sure. And I felt at ease. I felt better. I felt at peace.
At the time, did you wonder who spoke to me, or did you know?
Look, before all of this, I used to just run away to Sunday school on a Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
I used to, when mom was home, take the afternoon nap on a Sunday. Then all the kids would play outside, and this vehicle, this kumbi, just come down the road, pick up all the kids to Sunday school. And I was one of that children. I was one of that children. So, and before they wake up, I was back home again. So nobody knew that I was somewhere else. You know, I wasn't supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we didn't do things like that.
Yeah.
But I did it. And yes, maybe that was something that I've now heard. And immediately I had this voice when I was standing at this window.
And you know, because you know that is the voice of Jesus.
This voice was just a different voice. This voice was just a calming, no force, no obligation, no, no force.
Yeah.
There was no force.
Yeah.
It was just a peaceful but very clear voice.
And you went to bed.
Yeah. I can still hear the voice. I can still today hear that quiet voice.
It's in your spirit.
It's
it will
there.
never
It's there.
go.
And
It's
I can feel the warmth. I can feel how he came behind me and just said, "Don't worry, my child." At first I thought it was my dad that got up and saw me standing and waiting for my mom.
Yeah.
Because my father used to, just come past and hug us. That is what he did all the time, because I think he knew that my mom wasn't always there, and he just needed to give us the assurance that he's there. So I feel his warmth still. I feel the arms of God. Jesus surrounds me and said, "Don't worry, my child." And I went back to bed. Peacefully, I fell asleep.
And the next day?
The next morning, my mom wasn't home.
Still.
She was not home. My father used to put in our lunches for school. Our shoes were standing 5 pairs in a row. My father was there all the time.
Okay.
He was there. But my mom wasn't there.
Okay.
She wasn't there, and I needed to do things that the mother would do.
And then in between, then you started working. Did you tell them? When did you tell them? Or how did they realize that you have?
Okay. From the age of 9, that happened when I was 9.
Yes.
So from the age of 9, I had this little secret. I had this secret where I cannot tell. I cannot even tell my best friend. It was just there. And every day I see it. Every day I feel it. It's there. That there's something happened in my life. But nobody knew about it. As time went on, that 8 years or 9 years, that gap, went to school, went to high school, then started working.
So
I think I was
still,
about 19.
Sorry, you were still going to the mosque with your parents?
Yes. Still going to the mosque, still go to madrasa during that period of between 9 and 18.
Yes.
Still had to do what was expected of us to do. Yes, fully clothed in my Muslim way. Walk with my sisters to Muslim school. We came home. Yes, no, that was still there.
But your secret was in your heart.
The secret was in my heart.
Wow.
It was locked up in my heart.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. And then on this day, when I was 18, I started buying books. I started buying a Bible for myself. Okay. I started buying little books, just to read in secret, and nobody knew really about it, and we all had our different drawers where we put our things in. Yeah. And my books was right under the stuff, so that nobody really, because the minute they see the books,
you would have been in trouble.
I would have been in trouble. And it happened so that I was in trouble that one day, because then my dad found out that what is going on here? You're supposed to be the eldest, but what is happening now? I couldn't lie about it. I could not lie about it. And I told him that I'm a Christian.
Wow.
And he said, "No, if that is the case, I am either supposed to kill you, but please leave my house, because you cannot be under my roof, serving another God." You know, but God is so beautifully really took care of me. He provided a job and he provided a house for me to go and stay, which is A.W. Baker House for girls, where I stayed. Absolutely had a wonderful time there. And the job I started at Permanent Bank Building Society. Even that job was so amazing because when I was 13, went with Oma to town, you know, and I said, Oma, ek sal like om in die gebou te werk eendag.
Wow.
Because I used to love old buildings, I still do. Old historic buildings, I love it. I love old stuff. And I told my granny, I think I was 13. I said, I would love to work in this building. I just see all these people coming out on that steps and going in. And I said, I didn't even look at the people. I just looked at this building. It was just so beautiful. And lo and behold, that was the place where I had my first interview. I didn't know at the time what was a CV. I went for an interview without a CV. Nothing. I just stepped into that building.
Wow.
And the HR manager said, would you like to start today?
Wow.
I
God
said
provided.
no. I said no. No.
Wow.
I want to go home and tell my family.
Yeah.
You know.
I want to prepare myself.
I want to prepare myself. I want to go and tell them how much I'm going to earn.
Yeah.
You know. And then he said, no, that's fine. That's fine. Wow. And I was so young. I didn't even know. I didn't have experience. I did not know nothing. I didn't know what was going to happen the minute I start working. But then I had to leave the house.
Yeah.
I had to leave the house. But God already provided a job. God already provided a roof for me to go and stay. It's amazing, amazing. But yeah, then I started working my first job. I enjoyed it so. And only then I could tell my manager, the people at work, what happened. Because one day I came there and they asked me, Dee, what is wrong? There's something about you that's not right, you know. And then they called me to the office. I needed to come and speak to them, and I spoke, and I needed to tell them that.
What a relief.
It was such a relief. It was almost like I can now breathe and I can tell the whole world what happened to me.
Yes.
You know, don't have to be a secret anymore. And worked. I enjoyed it. Worked for long. But one day something happened. You know, my siblings was asked not to get involved with me. They were asked to stay away from me. I went through a time of loneliness.
Yeah.
You know.
Understandable.
I went through a time of loneliness, and I missed them. You know. One day it so happened that I came out of that building, also like an employee. I was there. I had the uniform on, and I worked. And I went across the road, and this man just walked right past me. And there was that voice again.
Okay.
That is your dad.
Wow.
That voice was just there. That is your dad walking right past you.
Wow.
Go to him, go run after him. And that is what I did. I ran back and I ran to him and I said, Pa, because that is what we used to call him, Pa. And I hugged him. He had no words. He just hugged me. It just happened. It wasn't planned. It just happened. He hugged me and ek sê vir hom, ek sal altyd pa se kind wees. You know, it doesn't matter. I will always be your daughter. Always. And, you know, the tears just just came from both of us. He was just so happy to see me. I was so happy to see him. But that again is also, God ordained this opportunity, this appointment that we needed to meet.
Yeah.
Just the two of us, nobody around, nobody around us, and we just need to needed to reconcile and forgiveness and reconciliation. That moment. And I still see myself standing there and my dad, and I can see his face right now, and it just broke him. It broke him, and I was just so free to know that we have now reconciled, I felt so much better after that. I felt so much better after that I could now walk in freedom. I could now walk with my head up.
Yeah.
The secret has been told.
Yeah.
It's out. It's no longer locked up, And since that time, I can just give God praise.
Yeah. So your father, what was his reaction? Did you have words when you said?
There was no
when you
words.
said to him, "You will be my father forever"?
There was no words. There was just tears.
Okay.
Still trying to keep a firm face. But I think God just did amazingly there.
Yeah. Yeah, he was there.
Our hearts was just so melted and soft, and on both sides, that words wasn't really necessary, Just that hug and the words that I said, that ek sal altyd pa se kind wees.
Yeah.
I think that was just enough.
For him.
It was just
and
enough for him.
your relationship after that with your dad?
After that,
were your mom still alive? Was she still there?
My mom was still alive.
Okay.
They divorced.
Okay.
They divorced.
In between.
In between the time they divorced, siblings and myself, we grew older, But my granny came to take care of us.
All right.
Before I was asked to leave the house. My father's mom, she came to take care of us.
Okay.
She passed on as time went on. My mom got married again. My father got married again. But our relationship was just different.
Yeah.
There was no longer that
intimate.
That intimacy, and there was no longer that I'm scared. Yes, when I was still in the house, that rejection was there. That what he told me, you will never be my daughter. I won't even recognize you when I see you. Your children won't be my grandkids.
At the time,
things like that.
Were you married then?
Not yet.
Okay. Now we're going to carry on the next week with that episode. It's such a lovely story. It's such a lovely born and bred in the heart of our God. Jesus that reached out to you and he said, as you said, you know what I was thinking, as you said to your father, ek sal vir altyd jou dogter bly, het die Here gesê, jy sal vir altyd my dogter bly. Next week. Baie dankie dat jy ingeskakel het. Dit is so mooi en nog mooier lê voor. So volgende week moet dit nie mis nie. Dan gesels ons verder met die Harris van haar, myself in ons program Mosaiek. Shalom.
Destined to play by the living water in the